Good morning, children. This video is for children in the Obelisk and Pharaoh group. Before we start today's learning, please make sure you do your starter on TT Rockstars, which is a minimum of 10 games. Thank you. So this week, children, we are going to be looking at decimals, and today we're going to be looking at adding to within 1. So adding decimals within the whole number. Now we've got our first question, which says, what number do these counters represent? So you can see these counters got different colours and they represent different values. And I've got a place value chart here to help. We're going to look at the yellow counters first. And these are, it says 0.1. And the 1 here, if we were to write this into our place value chart, the 1 is in the tenths. So how many tenths do we have in total? We've got 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3 tenths. We're going to take this one next. And the reason why is because this has got, if you take the decimal point, it's got 2 values after the decimal point. So we've got a 0 and then we've got a 1. If we were to write this into our place value chart, 0.01, the 1 is worth hundredths. And we've got 1, 2. So we've got 2 hundredths. And how many thousandths do we have? This is thousandths. I'm going to show you this is thousandths by using our place value chart. We can see we've got 0.001. So 0.001. The 1 is in the thousandths column. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we need to do is we need to add these values together. Now, when you have values like this, and they've got no, there don't need to be a value here. We could put a 0 here as a placeholder, but we could just add it as we see it. And we'll just do that now. So, and we've got to write what number do these counters represent. So there's only 1 in this number. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. There's 5 here, sorry. 5 thousandths. So 0.325. That number is represented here. It says here, add 1/100th more. So if we were to use our place value chart again, if we were to write the number 0.325, we need to add 1/100th more. Now our hundredths, if we use our place value chart, is this column here. Okay. And it's asking us to add 1 more hundredth. So we're going to add 0.01 because we're adding 1/100th. The 5 stays the same. We could put a 0 here, but it doesn't need to. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 0 is 3. 0 plus 0 is 0. Do not forget the decimal point. Add 1. And then the next bit says if you then add another 3 thousandths, what number would you have? So we're going to add 3 thousandths to this column here. So 0.003. So 5 plus 3 equals 8. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 plus 0 is 3. And 0 plus 0 is 0. Don't forget the decimal point. So our answer is 0.338. And that's adding within the 1 because we have. The reason why we're saying within 1 is that the answer is going to be less than 1. And we know that because the place value, the digit in the 1s column is 0 and it's acting as a placeholder. Now it says the second question, complete the part whole model. This is basically saying that when these two numbers combined will give you the answer here. So we can add that together. I'm just going to use this part of the piece of paper. So 0.627, add 0.103. 7 plus 3 equals 10. So we have to put a 0 in there and carry the 1 across. 2 plus 0 plus 1 equals 3. 6 plus 1 equals 7. Don't forget the decimal point. And 0 plus 0 equals 0. It's really important that we don't forget that decimal point, children. So our answer is 0.730. Now, this question here, children, you can either, if you printed the sheet out, you can edit this, but if you don't, you can do it visually and you can write your answer on your question sheet. Use the square to add 7/10 and 3/100. What is your answer? Now, this here is 100 square, and when it's tenths, 100 square can be split into 10/10, and each section here is worth 10, so that equals a tenth. And it wants us to add 7/10 and 3/100. Each individual square is worth 1/100, but each row is equal 1/10. So we just take this section here first, the 3/100. We need to add 300 so 100 is equal to 1 square, so we need to colour in 3 squares because we need to do 3/100. So 1, 2, 3. And then it's saying we need to add 7/10. And as I've said, 7/10, children, is 1/10 is 1 row. So I'm just going to, so we've got to do 7 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just get that. No. What is our answer? So how many of these, how much of this 100 square is shaded in? So we know there's 100 together, so it's going to be 90. There's 90 because we've got 10 left, because remember each row is worth 10. Now to write this, if I was to get a place value chart again, now we know this is 90 out of 100, and we've done some work on this at the beginning of our home learning. So our fraction would look like this, 90 over 100. And because 100 is in our denominator, that is our value. But as I've always pointed out, we can't have two values in one column. So we put the 0 in the hundredths, and we put the 9 in the tenths. Don't forget to put your decimal point in 0 as your placeholder. And this is 90 hundredths, but it can also be known as 9/10. It has the same value. So answer is 0.90. True or false? We've got questions here. Adding these two numbers together. I'm not going to do this question because I want to do some reasoning, problem solving, and looking at the length of the video. I really want to get onto some of the other video questions, but add these two together using a similar method to here. Does it give you that answer, true or false? So let's do some questions on reasoning and problem solving. Check what Grace has said. Is she correct? Explain your answer. If you add two decimals, your answer will never be more than 1. So say if you add two decimals, your answer will never be more than 1. So we need to see if she's correct. And what we can do is we can use calculations to prove this theory. Now, if I was to take two numbers, we're going to choose these two numbers to begin with, and we're going to add them together. Now what Grace is saying is that this number here won't be greater, the answer won't be greater than 1. So we add this: 3 plus 4 equals 7, 4 plus 3 equals 7, 0 plus 0 equals 0. Don't forget the decimal point. However, Grace is incorrect, and I'm going to show you why. And it all depends in the 10th column. If these two numbers, when added together, equal more than 9, sorry, the answer will be greater. So I'm going to give you an example. So we're going to go 0.82 plus 0.54. Okay, just draw our line, and I'm going to show you what I mean. 2 plus 4 equals 6. 8 plus 5 equals 13. You need to carry that 1 underneath. 0 plus 0 plus 1 equals 1. Don't forget the decimal point. Our answer is 1.36, which means that if Grace is incorrect, because if you had 2 decimals together, which we've done here, your answer will never be more than 1. Well, it is more than 1. 1.36. And we've explained. So we can say she's incorrect. And we've proved why she's incorrect. We've got another question, some questions here. Martha's taken the test, mark her answers and write any corrections. So basically what we're doing, we're going to look at these questions, work them out ourselves, and if she's put that answer, we can give her the correct answer. Now, we'll do the first 2, and then we'll do one of these questions down here. So the first one, because what is really important here is that they are missing values in certain place value columns. So it's understanding that she's lined them up correctly and that the value sometimes doesn't need a 0 at the end. And this first answer will show this. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 7 plus 1 equals 8. 9 plus 0 equals 9. 0 plus 0 equals 0. So the answer here is 0.980. It says here 0.98. Just to say, any 0 afterwards doesn't actually need to be there. If it's there, that's fine. But if it's taken away, it still gives you the same answer. 0.98 is the same value as 0.980. So she is correct here. This question I just want to look at as well. I want you to notice, again, the lining up of the numbers. So we've got 0.76 plus 0.073. Now, as I said earlier, you can, if you want, put a 0 there. And I'm going to put it in there in a pencil, but you don't have to. You don't have to when adding. But we will here. So 0 plus 3 equals 3. 6 plus 7 equals 13. 7 plus 1 equals 8. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0.833. Well, we can tell she's wrong here. And we can put the corrections there. Now, the reason why she is wrong is because she didn't line them up correctly. And a really easy way to make sure that you've lined them up correctly, the decimal points are in the same line. If they're lined up correctly, you know you're going to answer the question correctly. The last question here, children. Which digits could you put in the empty spaces to make these statements correct? Now, this question here is all about sort of trial and error, but you can use, if you were to write the question as a written calculation, which I'm going to do now. So we've got 0.133, add 0.2, and then we've got a blank, and it's equal to 0.403. Well, 3 plus, what do we add to 3 to get to 3? So we can put a 0 here. So 3 plus something equals, well, this isn't a 0. The answer is going to be 10. So we know there's going to be a 1 here. When this is the case, when you have a missing number and the answer here is smaller than that number, that means the answer is going to be greater than 9, and we're going to have to carry across. So what do we, so this actually is 3 plus something equals 10, which equals 7. So the answer here could be 7 and 0. Okay. You could have, if that was to be 11 that will become 8. And it would all change, but that is one example. Now, I'm not going to do the second one because the video is quite long already, so I'm going to leave it there. Go to your task sheets now and answer the questions. Best of luck.